If purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable.
And we're back again. Oh, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be here in front of you, here speaking to you and just being a part of your life. And, we're learning together, growing together and sharing different ideas as we walk on this journey called Far From Finish. Really understand that our lives are truly far from the end and that God is committed and faithful for completing that task in our lives. Yeah. So as I did a few weeks ago, this episode we want to focus on from the policing perspective on something called scamming. Now in Trinidad and Tobago, there's a lot of it going on, and a lot of persons are getting caught up being scammed by individuals of their hard-earned money. And I realized that it's not something that we talk about often or even give persons indicators on what to look for that they do not end up in that position. Now, funny enough, you might think, has that ever happened to me? I'm like, yeah, I actually got caught. And one of the ways in which you think in all your years of your profession, these things should not happen, because there are always indicators you look for. But what I want to tell you is that these individuals are upgrading every moment in order to scam you of what you have earned and what you worked for. And when we think about scamming and what scamming is literally to defraud a person or cheat that person of their possessions, whether it be money, whether it be a tangible item. The whole idea of scamming is to get from you something that person desires. And in most instances, scamming really falls into the aspect of money. You have a lot of schemes coming out there of you put in this amount of money and you get back this amount. You have where persons may come to you personally, face to face, offering you something, and in return you give them money, and by the time you give them the money, you cannot see the product, or you still waiting on the product. I've known persons who have been scammed of land. I've known persons who have been scammed of millions of dollars, scammed of thousands of dollars. And the thing is, it is something that I believe when we think about it and we want to talk about it, the first thing you want to do when it comes to scamming is to check yourself. Now, you thought I was going to start with something mind-blowing. No. Check yourself. Why you need to check yourself? Checking yourself means you need to ask yourself some questions before you agree to anyone offering you something for money. Why you need to check yourself? What is the purpose you want it for? What do you intend to gain from it? That is number one. The second thing is, nothing in life comes easy. Nothing in life comes easy. Making quick money is a sign that you don't want to work for it. You just want it to come easily. Nothing in life comes easy. You have to work towards it. There must be a discipline in it. So therefore, most of the times when people get scammed is because they want to make quick money. And when a person wants to make quick money, they are blinded to the signs that this person is actually scamming them. So I remember a situation where a person reached out to me. Now I would have known the person because I would have seen them advertising. They are doing this they're doing a promotion in terms of forex trading, right? And legitimate guy, but you're seeing his picture, you're seeing the results, you're seeing it. But what you don't know behind the scenes is that there are some persons who are stealing their identity and trapping you. So what happened is that his identity was taken, and anytime if you learn social media good, you realize that the algorithm, I say it right, Jason? Algorithm, right? Don't worry about who's Jason, right? That's the guy behind the camera making sure I look good, right? Let me do strand, right? We'll come back, right? So in the algorithm, things that you look at, things that you keep looking at and you keep viewing now becomes what they present to you. And scammers use the algorithm in order to get to you. So they took the guy's identity and reached out. So at first you think you are speaking to the person. Let me explain how far they have gone. They literally scanned his face and ID card now and presented it as though he is the person you're speaking to. Now here's a major mistake was made. I never contacted the person. I thought I was actually speaking to the person. One of the things when these people come on the social media and want to reach out to you and want to offer you this for that, ensure that you have a conversation with them, whether it be phone or face-to-face. And one of the telling signs is when you ask to have a phone conversation with them, they never want to have the conversation. That's a red flag. One time, as you don't want to have a conversation, you cut it immediately, block, delete, report. Yeah? So they are moving at a rate where they are making things so believable that you actually believe that's the person you are speaking to. The third thing is that you always want to ensure that when it comes to persons physically coming to you to offer you something or offer you money or offer you an item, you want to ensure that you have written contracts that persons sign and understand the liability of if they do not provide what they are saying, this is what can happen. Ensure you have signed documents and contracts, not verbal contracts. Don't allow it just to be a verbal agreement anymore. Ensure that if they come, make sure they sign. So in process of me moving from my vehicle to someone else, even though I know the person, even though I work with the person, even though I've seen the person around, what we did a contract. In that contract stated, this is what is going to happen, this is how much the car will be sold for, this is who it will be going to, and we both signed. And both would have indicated, in case one doesn't honor the end of the contract, this is the liability. In this time, 2024 going forward, you have to be mindful that there are many scammers out there. Right? There are many persons trying to scam you of what you have worked hard for and what you have earned over time. And you must become very vigilant that in this world, not everyone really wants the best for you. I'm going to go even further. Here's a scam. Saying to persons to put this amount in offering so you receive a healing or receive a prophecy. I want to say where you see that, but you know what I'm talking about. That is a scam. You do not pay for a healing and you do not pay for prophetic utterances. Why? Because God has made himself available to you, free of charge, that he could say to you and speak into your life what he desires for you and heal you when you come to him. So the thing about scamming is it's real, but we want you to be aware that it's not just real, but be vigilant that you do not fall into the same trap. Yeah? So what I started with was check yourself. Why do you want what is being offered to you? And what do you want it for? Again, if purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable.
If purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable.